Now, Representative Boyle, you're not only interested in just the academics of young students, but also their athletic ability and their health. Right. So let's talk a little bit about some of the basketball tournaments you've held and your support for legislation by one of your colleagues, Representative Tim Briggs, who has legislation that would protect young athletes from concussions.
Right. So we've seen with the NFL the last few years, the issue of concussions become much more serious. In a previous generation, if someone had a concussion, they would be, actually not just in a previous generation, probably 10 years ago, they'd be put right back out in the field. When I played a lot of sports growing up, when I played Little League Baseball, it seemed like every injury, the coach would say, walk it off. Walk it off magically solved every injury. Mm-hmm. I remember my brother had a broken finger playing baseball, and the coach told him to walk it off, which is not necessarily the best medical advice for a broken finger. So that sort of attitude, kind of, tough it out, chin up, I can understand. But with concussions, it's really unwise. And so the NFL the last few years, actually all four major sports leagues, but especially the NFL, they've become smarter in terms of concussions and the real damage that it can do, particularly repeat concussions. And so on the youth level, we now need to follow that up, not just college, but also high school and youth sports. And so Tim Briggs' bill targeted toward that, I really think is the right approach and raises the sort of awareness we need.
Okay. Well, let's meet a 22-year-old woman who's been suffering from migraines for the past 5 years because of a concussion, and how this bill would help to prevent that.
For a 22-year-old, my life is not normal. It's not even close to being normal.
Yes! Staying at home playing pool isn't how Tracy Yatsko wants to live. 5 years ago, she was a star high school runner and basketball player. Everything changed with one rebound.
As I was coming down, the back of my head hit the top of another girl's head.
In that instant, she suffered a severe concussion that would change her life. Like a lot of young athletes, she didn't know the risks and continued to play in the next game.
We went out to practice right before the game, and the floor was spinning. I couldn't really see anything, but I knew I had to play because the team needed me.
That would be the last game Tracy would ever play.
After the game, I collapsed, and that was it.
Tracy spent the next 6 months in and out of the hospital and trapped on her couch.
I couldn't get up. I couldn't do anything. Lights over. No lights, no TV, dark sheets over the windows, nothing.
5 years later, Tracy is still in and out of the hospital, fighting a constant battle with migraines caused by her concussion.
And when I get a migraine, it's not just a day or a week. It's like months to try and break the cycle. Or I end up in hospitals.
Roll over! Roll over!
Bright and engaging, Tracy has tried going to college and working, but something always triggers another round of migraines.
One of my main fears in life is how I'm going to support myself because, I don't have a career, and I'm 22 years old, and that is a big fear in life.
To help other young athletes learn about the risks of concussions, Tracy attended a news conference with the Philadelphia Eagles to support legislation by State Representative Tim Briggs.
A concussion is a brain injury, plain and simple, and can disrupt the way the brain normally works. Even a ding or a bump on the head can be serious and result in a long-term or lifelong disability.
To protect students, the bill would require that players sit out until a healthcare professional says it's safe to play. Plus, parents and students would receive information about the risks of concussions before the season begins.
People shrug them off, people shake them off, get back and play as soon as possible. But bottom line, a concussion is a brain injury, and it's nothing to shake off.
For Tracy, the pain continues as she works with her doctors to find a solution to the migraines. She hopes coaches, parents, and especially young players learn from her experience and understand the dangers of concussions.
It's okay to go to the doctor, and it's okay to miss one game because, I missed my whole season. I missed my whole senior year. I missed my whole track season where I could have gotten a scholarship. I missed a lot of important things in life.
Tracy isn't giving up. She's continuing to work with her doctors to find a way to manage her migraines, and she wants to go to college. As for the bill, it has broad support, including the Philadelphia Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, and 76ers, as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers and Pirates. Reporting from Harrisburg, I'm Kevin Hensel.